Welcome to Rugby Park in Hobart here today. We're here for the grand final replay between the Devonport Bulls and Hobart Harlequins. Hobart Harlequins squad today consists of Michael Foss at number 1, Aaron Wennett at number 2, Jack Lockley at number 3, Daniel Newton is in the second row with Jeff Altman, 4 and 5, Daniel Garozzo is playing in the loose forward as a number 6, Phil Panisi is number 7, and Colo Hafanoa is at number 8, Farley Atalio at 9, Ethan Tucker, who should have a big game today, is a 5'8". Number 11 is Daniel McGill, 12 inside centre is Polo Pua, 13 is Aaron Ladlow, 14 is Kent Williams, 15 Cameron Ransley, reserves are Michael Dodd, I never liked him, James Davis, Mason Colgrave, Andy Kanea, Jackson Corona, nicknamed the Virus, Richard Newton and Sam McGowan are the reserves. For Devonport, we have Reese Aroa at number 1. The hooker is Kieran Hayes. Number 3 is Sam O'Keefe. Number 4 is Ollie Crawford. Should expect a big game from Molly today. Number 5 in the second row is Luke Bryan. Number 6 flanker is Camden Churchill. Matt Young, the Evergreen, is at number 7. Ruben Higney is at number 8. Number 9 is Ash Lowry. Number 10, Mark Mio, the legend. He's playing in number 19 today. That's the jumper he'll be wearing. Tyrrell Sharp's at 11. Connor Mack is at 12, nice to see him back. Dean Wallace is at 13, Brendan Cox at 14, and Ilsoni Tavalagi at number 15 to full back. The reserves are Zachary Tibble, Isaac Bakuta and Alistair Neesham. The referee is Craig Gardner, and we're ready to kick off. Coaches today, Ivan Meeklin for Quins and Jerry Scott for Devonport, ably assisted by the legend Derek Joubert. So we have kick off. Mark Mio kicks. Nice retrieve there by Quins. Jeff Altman takes the ball up, but not for long. Quins over the top here. Nice clean start to the game. That's Farley Atalio kicking the ball. And Mark Mio's back there to recover it. Sorry, this was Sonny Tavaligi. It's a nice aggressive start of the game. As people watching this game will remember, last year Devonport had a very, very good win against Quins. Not expected. Mark Mio had a blinder of a game that day. They went wide to the flanks and scored out wide regularly. Quins managed to get back later in the game, but it was too late. So there's scores to be settled out there today. The two clubs admire each other, but they like beating each other as well. Nice ruck formation there. Just to mention that Quins have lost a few of their players from the grand final last year. A few have retired. Sunil Mafu's injured, he's out this year. So we'll be interested to see how this team goes. For those who don't know, Quins beat Glenorchy last week by 4 points, and Devonport had a good win against a revitalised Hobart Lions. So that was a good game. First penalty of the game to Quins. I'm not going to pretend I know what penalties are for. Thankfully, Craig does. Or Mr. Gardner, as he's known. It's a nice kick out by Ethan Tucker. Ethan needs to have a strong game today. This Devonport side will be looking to take it up in the forwards, I think. And Ethan has got a lot of experience playing league in Queensland. Set up a couple of beautiful tries last week with Polo Pua. I'm looking for that combination to be a key for us today. I'm a Harlequin, so I can say that. But I can only imagine that Devonport will be really keen to win this. Aaron Wennett to throw the ball in. And Altman's up, takes it straight to Atalio. Knock on by Quins. That was a sloppy start. When you're in your attacking 25, you want to be doing better than that. Be interested to see how the scrums go today. Both sides have good packs. It's funny, you never know who's going to dominate a scrum against these two clubs. Always a very eagerly awaited contest. Nice and low, as they should be. I'd give that one to Devonport. Mark Mio there. That's a nice pass. That was Dean Wallace taking the ball up. Not sure what that was called for. Might have been accidental offside. What was that for? Okay. Thank you. Right, Devonport held well on that last scrum. In fact, they got the push on later on in it. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Quins has an attacking scrum. We might see something different happen. Anyway, it's being fed by Ash Lowry. That's a better scrum by Quins. They got the push on. Lowry's got it. Makes a break. Nice run there by Ollie Crawford. But knocked on by Quins. Another scrum to Devonport. Beautiful day here in Hobart. Sun's shining. Actually, it's cold and breezy, but you know, for an international audience, you want to lie a little bit. About 28 degrees. No, it's not. It's about 8 degrees, actually.
Go, Queen!
There's a noisy person next to me. We'll ignore her. But she'll get me a beer later, so we'll forgive her for that. Right, third scrum to Devonport. What happens this time? It's interesting on this side. Michael Frost is getting nice and low this week, and he's driving into the ribs of the opposite prop. Good propping. And here's a run. Connor Max made a break. He's got Mio on the outside. No, that's Talangi. Talangi's running towards the winger for Quins. He's through. That's a beautiful move. First try for the day. Far too many Devonport supporters here. Yep, nice try to Osami Tavalagi.
Let's get any size.
Connor Max taking the shot for goal. It's always easy to pick Connor. Interesting start. The game was all down the Harlequins' defensive line for the first 7 minutes. Couldn't get any possession, and Devonport wore them down and broke through the middle. Conversion successful, 7-0. Referee is having a good game today, allowing the play to flow. Players are just a little bit nervous, I think. Right, kick off by Faliataleo.
Up on the line, up on the line.
Want to see some aggression from the Quins boys running onto this one. Ollie Crawford takes it straight up into...
Nice, Daniel!
Daniel Newton. Put a nice tackle on him. And Newton's in for a second tackle. That's a nice play by Newton. He's working hard there. But the Bulls are dragging it forward. Nice aggressive football there. But knock on. Let's see how this Quins scrum goes in attack. Sam O'Keefe's on this side of the scrum here with Michael Frost. This will be an interesting battle. Both very competitive gentlemen is one way of putting it. But body height will be crucial at this stage in this scrum. We'll see how Quins go. So second row's got up. They've managed to get the ball out. Not good delivery, but still. Quins through here. Middle of the pitch. Halfway. Another iffy pass by Quins. They're really not doing themselves any favours there. Daniel Newton, who's having a good game so far, takes it up. Yes, straight through by Devonport. Good play. Good aggressive play by the Bulls. They're really wanting this game today. Up goes Aaron Winnett, the hooker. Straight up to Colo. And Jack Lockie takes it up, makes some good yards. Yes, penalty, holding onto the ball. Devonport got right over the top of him. Jack couldn't get released. And that's that. A lot of hard work there for nothing. Nice kick. Made a good 20 yards there, or metres. Only 10 minutes in, but at the moment Devonport have had the run of play. Very aggressive around the ball. Not called the Bulls for nothing. Yep, not straight. Always reckon the first line of the day, throw it to 2. Settle in. Right, another scrum, Quins feed.
But they've been very close. Yeah, very close. That's been good rugby. Very good.
That's a nice drive by Devonport, a really good drive. And a penalty, and deservedly so. Always a team morale builder. What do? They take the penalty or they go for the line? Going for the line. Luke Bryan took the kick. Playing in the second row today, but wearing number 17. See what happens with this line out throw. Always throw to 2, I reckon. Get your bearings. Yep, gone long again. Matthew Young, nice and high. It's good to see a man of his age can still lift himself that high. I told him I was going to say that. Very, very good player, very, very dependable Devonport Bull. Nice bit of work there by Devonport, but another knock on. I wouldn't say ball handling is been a great feature of this game so far. Anyway, we all know how much forwards like scrums, so. I'm sitting next to club legend Finn Roberts, or Finn as she's known. And she doesn't like scrums apparently. Well, I do. But Finn will get me beer later, so she's very important. Yep, that scrum's won by Quins. The delivery's not good, and again, a knock on. Both sides guilty of poor ball security so far. Thing is, that scrum wasn't well held, and so the halfback's under pressure, and that's what happens. So that's why the forwards need to step up and pack strong on their own feed. So Ash Lowry feeds the scrum again. That scrum's under pressure as well, so no one's... Oh, Quins have stolen that. It's gone wide. It's best, not sure how to describe what happened then. Nice tackle there by Aaron Ladlow. And yet another knock on. Good pressure from Quins. So no one's really dominating the scrum yet. It's a little bit of a mishmash. A lot of stoppages, but that's not the referee's fault. That's the players not showing respect for the ball. For those who don't know, Craig Gardner did the grand final last year. Did an excellent job. In my opinion, the best ref in Tasmania.
This is a rematch of the grand final.
Yep, I've already mentioned that. You want to mention it again? Finn wants me to mention that it's the rematch of the grand final, just in case everybody didn't hear me mention it twice already. Thank you, Finn. Right, that's a short arm penalty to Quins. Colo Hafanoa takes it up, and he's making some good yards there. And now he needs to get this ball out. There's going to be a handover to Devonport to get this to the ground, which he does. No, he doesn't. Took the ball in, didn't get it to ground, so it's a Devonport feed. That's one rule I do know. If you get the ball, you must get to ground. If they're going to hold you up, scrum feed goes the other way. I'm old enough to remember the old rule, but I think this is a better rule. Keep the ball in play. Right, let's see how this scrum goes. We've seen an awful lot of them so far. So Ash Lowry has fed the ball again. He must be getting used to it by now. Oh, that's nice. Nice pass. And there goes Connor Mack, and he's gone wide. That's a Tetalingi.
Oh,
and this guy can
Craig!
run. This guy can run. And that's a good run. Straight into Daniel Newton, straight into Paula Powell. Two good tacklers, and he's managed to fend them both off. Camden Churchill takes it up. Good run. Really good run. Body height was a bit high, but it's a penalty against Quins for, looks like it was a high tackle.
High tackle.
Who would think Quins would do a high tackle?
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk? Of course, we all know the interpretation of a high tackle is very different these days. Player safety. Just some other results today in the women's sevens up in Launceston. Quins had a win up there. They won the tournament up there, the Quins women, and in the reserve grade game before here. Great news, Burnie had a win against the Harlequin East combination, and Burnie, for probably the first time in a couple of years, had more than a full squad. I think about 17, 18 players. Brett Bentley played. He's had a great game. It's good to see him out there again. It was great to see Burnie have such a strong team and be so competitive down here. I think they won about 36-5, so convincing win. I think Quins and East are still finding their feet together. Not sure that combination is working just yet, but it will over time. Most important thing is the Eastern Suburbs Club continues to have a presence in the game at the moment while it rebuilds, and reserve grade's a good grade to be rebuilding your club, and make sure all the Quins players who don't get a run in first grade get a run as well. Best way to describe the game so far, I think there's been a lot of mistakes made. There was two very good bursts by Tangalingi, which I think are a real warning sign for Quins. They're going to have to get in front of him, and Tavalagi, sorry, and bring him to ground. They can't give him space. He will simply bust through the middle. He's an aggressive runner, and it wasn't surprising to see Connor Mack deliver that 35-metre pass to him to get him going, because they can sense, I think, that if they go wide like they did in the grand final last year, there could be some success. Sam O'Keefe's just gone off. He's having a break by the looks of it. Looks like he might have hurt his arm. So he's been replaced. I'll get that number for you shortly. I think it's Isaac Bakuda. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Number 24. Feed, and that's it. Straight to number 2. Always safe to throw to 2. And up goes Ollie Crawford. Chris Mahina's watching this. I don't like him. And through goes, that's Mark Mio, isn't it? No, it's Talegi. Yes, I did mention it. Ilsoni Tavalegi, he's gone through again. So that's what they'll be doing today. Devonport, if this is the process, whenever they've got a break, give it to him because he is a dynamic runner. Conor Mack taking the shot again. Yep, the replacement prop is Isaac Bakuda. Apparently he's a height aspiring halfback, but at this moment he's playing prop. Right, it's 14-0 and we've been playing about 20 minutes. Quins haven't really had any ball of any quality to show what they can deliver at this stage. Every time the ball has been coming at the back of the scrum, it's been under pressure. Devonport have looked good, solid. I wouldn't say terrific, but good. Player was in front of the kicker then, but anyway. And there goes Ollie Crawford yet again, another big run. Enjoys annoying people out there, Ollie. He's a good man. I like that sort of player. That's a great run there by Risa Aroa. Really good run, really good front rowers run. Places the ball down nicely. Now they're getting the roll on. The Bulls are getting the roll on here. There's Mark Mio out to Conor Mack, out to Tyrrell Sharp. And that's a good run by Tyrrell Sharp. And it's a penalty against Quins again. Right, Luke Bryan will kick for line, kick for touch. Gets some good purchase on the ball, grabs another 20 metres. This is what forwards love to see when they a nice little casual walk to the line out, throw the ball in, reset, start again. Play to structure. This is the stuff that Derek Jabeur used to love when he was coach. Players playing to structure. Now Matthew Young went up for that and missed it, so that's another line out that Devonport haven't converted. It was, Daniel Gill took that up. I think that was high, yes indeed. Good call by Sir. I don't think there was anything malicious in it, but it was high and that's all there is to it these days. Ethan Tucker gets a bit of purchase on it, it's into the breeze, so he's stolen 10 metres. There is a light breeze here against Quinn, so you'll probably notice Devonport's kicks will go further because of that. Just enough to annoy the kicker. Right, Aaron Wennert ready to throw the ball in again. He'll be going some variation of throw to Jeff Altman. No, it's not. Penise not gone straight, I don't think. No, not straight. Good call, sir. Or maybe not. Doesn't matter anyway. Devonport got it. That's another good run. That's good metres. And they played the ball back perfectly. And then Mio, nice little kick through. Who's running onto it? Ah, taken by, not sure who that is. Might be Aaron. Aaron Ladlow. Right, that's held up. Scrum feed to the Bulls. They've always been good, the Bulls, at holding the player up. gaining possession of the scrum, starting in the tight again. Queens just need to settle here. They've not really had any decent possession. They've been under pressure when they've had the ball. Be interested to see what happens if they can just get a bit of breathing space, because this Devonport side at the moment are looking really, really confident. Back line are very happy chirping to each other because they can see chances. Look at them, they're ready to go. Oh, that's not quite what they were looking for, but Mio's got it, running up. Knock on. Must have been at the back of the scrum.
All the way through until the final.
Just like to mention that Finn was supposed to be my co-commentator today, but she changed her mind, so you've got me for an hour and a half.
I can be your advisor.
You could be my advisor, right. I know what you'd like to tell me to do, but that's a different matter and we can't say that on television or whatever it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
Streaming.
How do people get on Stream Live? How do...
I don't know how people get on the stream live, but you might want to ask the cameraman. If anybody will know, he will. That's what cameramen know, those things. That's another good scrum by the Bulls. That's a really good scrum, and Quins have got to work this out because that's just not going to get them anywhere. There's too much pressure on them. They're too high in the scrum, and they need to really focus on that part of the game because it's crucial. Just get good possession through the scrum. And it's not happening at the moment. Players run it in, held up. Nope, got to ground this time. It's a nice kick by Daniel McGill. Thought it went a bit further than that, but what would I know? A bit difficult from here. But that's another line-out throw to Devonport. And you can see the back line out there talking you through what they've got planned. That's a nice line-out throw. Good take. Straight out to Mio. Out to Connor Mack. And here we go. This time, gives it to Daniel McGill, and he's gone over. Players, I think the Quins players were watching Tavaligi this time, thinking he'd get it, but no, they changed the line. Sorry, that was Tyrrell Sharp, not Daniel McGill. He plays for Quins. Wrong sheet in front of me. Yep, Tyrrell Sharp.
Go and say, go, look, you get down there, go. At least you hear more.
As I mentioned earlier, in the grand final last year, it was quite a surprise in the qualifying final. Quins really gave Devonport a drubbing, and the Bulls changed their style from that real forward-dominated game to really going wide regularly and making Quins go very wide in the grand final, and they scored a lot of tries, and they're doing it again today. There's a worrying trend here, so we'll just see how things go. It's now 21-0. Beautiful conversion. Well, I was predicting this to be a tight game, maybe a 2-point game. At the moment, not quite looking like that. Cameron Ramsey kicking the ball, that won't go 10. Let it bounce, boys. So we'll go back for a scrum feed to Devonport. These are the things you've got to get right when you're under pressure. What Quins need to do is turn this round by putting the Bulls under pressure, but you're not going to do that if you can't kick it 10. So Ash Lowry to feed the ball into the scrum. Let's see what happens in this one. That's coming out the Quins side. That's a Very strange scrum. Right, there goes Aaron Ladlow. Straight into the Bulls pack. Gets the ball back nicely. Colo Hafaloa takes it up. Nice big run, flick pass back. Not a lot of security in that pass. There goes Kent Williams. Good run. Bulls are right over the top of him. Farley straight into Michael Frost. Good run, straight to ground as he should. Bit of structure here from Quins. This is better. Nope, they lost it. So there you go. And this is picked up by Brendan Cox. So that's another try to Devonport. I'm going to need more than one beer to get through this game, I can tell you now.
Half time yet?
Yep, are we nearly there yet? Only half an hour in, and it's nearly a point a minute at the moment, so this isn't looking good from Quinn's end. 26-0. Some cool heads are required here from Quins because you can always come back in a game like this. But at the moment the Bulls are playing really, really good rugby after a bit of a slow start. But you can tell they're having a nice day out. And the Harlequin lads look quite the opposite. For those who don't know, the rivalry between these two clubs is very significant. There's been a lot of great games over many, many years. Nothing but fond memories of playing up in Devonport and playing against them down here. But in the last 10 years, the rivalry has grown and grown and the respect has grown. But this is not what anybody expected, I don't think. But I will say this, the Bulls look like they're really hungry and they just want to play rugby. By the way, I'm club patron of Harlequins, so this is very depressing for me, but I'll continue on anyway. Cough. Right, nice kick-off. That's a good run-up by Camden Churchill, but a bit suspect delivery back there, but it's gone back to Quins. Bit of luck there. That's Daniel McGill took that ball in. That's Farley, that's taking the penalty, run it up. Ethan Tucker takes it at half, straight in, oops, a daisy. It's a lovely run by Daniel Garozzo for short ball from Jeff Altman. That was nice play. This is more like, no, knocked it on. Quins just don't seem settled at the moment. But that was a bit more, well, enjoyable to watch, should I say. Particularly if I don't have a beer yet.
They're getting over their other half. They're getting there.
This is probably the first time Harlequins have been in the Devonport half, about 20 minutes, would that be right, Finn?
Yep.
About 20 minutes. So that just goes to show you the level of domination. When you're holding about 80% of the territory and you've got 100% of the score, yeah, those things all kind of make sense. Right, Devonport players coming off here. He's got a nasty cut. I think it's Kieran Hayes, the hooker. One-sided commentary here, Derek. There's Derek Roebuck working past. He's looking very, very happy, I can say. Yep, that's Kieran Nipper Hayes, who's bleeding profusely from the mouth, so he's been replaced. He looks keen to get back out there though. It's the scrum feed to Devonport. And it's gone to Mio, and he kicks it out. Nice 20-metre gain. Quins might throw it in early. No, no one up there. Quins forwards are looking pretty tired at the moment. I don't think there's been a lot of good stuff happening out there, and they need to regather at half time and recover. That's Mark Oakford behind me. He's now starting to be rude to me, but that's okay, I can cope. That's straight up to Jeff Altman. Farley Athalio takes it up. Thought that Devonport play may have been a bit offside, so he didn't pass it. This is going to Colo Hafalea. He takes it up, nice yards, places the ball back nicely, or has he? There's some hands in there. Called by the referee. Thank you, sir. Ref's having a great game today. He's not having to make too many decisions because the run of play is really quite going one way, but he's just let the game flow as much as it can. Right. That's kick for line by Daniel Newton, former AFL player. Very, very good kick and a very good rugby player. Brother Richard played in the reserves today. He injured himself. He's meant to be subbing for the Quins and the seniors today, but he's out for a couple of weeks, I think. Right, so here we are. Hayes is back on the field for Devonport. Gritty little bugger he is. Let's see what Quins can do here. This is going to Altman. No, it's not. It's going to Frost. Through to the front of the line. Nice move there. Farley, no. Too much pressure from the Bulls. Right on top of Quins. Read that well. And now they're going to ruck it out. No, they're not going to ruck it out. There goes Connor Mack. Connor Mack's been brought down. A beautiful tackle by Aaron Ladlow. Right around the ankles.
Yes.
And a penalty. That's a really, really good bit of work there. Well, here we go. Polo Pua's throwing to Colo Hafaloa. We might have wanted to settle that, but anyway. It's gone out to Aaron Winnett, who's out there on his own. And so fortunately for Quins, there's a penalty, probably for offside. But again, there's no composure and there's too much rushing. Would you agree, Finn?
Yes, they're rushing the ball.
They're rushing the ball. This is the time to be settling and getting back into the game. And but we just need to settle down a bit. Here we go, straight up with Colo. Makes some good yards, goes to ground, gets the ball down. This is the mysterious part of the game. Nice run up by Jack Lockley. Let's see what happens here. Quins looking like they've got something up their sleeve here. I reckon it's going to, whoops, Daniel Garozzo. And another penalty to Quins, and Mr. Gardner must be thinking about whether there might be time for a bin if they continue to get penalised this close to the line. This is a time when a captain should probably go up and have a word to him. I think that's 3 in a row, isn't it, Finn? Once it gets past 2, then you have to question the motivation of why those penalties are happening. Well, the Quins took the ball in, and I think it's a turnover. Yep, so that all that possession lost. Trying to hide my despair. I think that was a time to settle again, put them under pressure, see if you can get another penalty and just keep working it. But as I said, Quins haven't had a lot of possession, so maybe they're just getting their feet. 40 minutes in. Right, Quins throw, Altman takes it. Very dependable line-out jumper. Best we've had since Gavin Stosinger in the 10 years ago. Terrific line-out jumper, Gavin. Before that, Kim Creek. Probably the 3 best line-out jumpers Quins have ever had. At least since I started following the game in 1905. Yep. Rushed again. Sometimes short passes and aggressive runs are more important than these longer passes. Just don't think Crims are in the groove to be doing this at this stage. Don't think there'll be any extra time in this half. I don't think we've had any injuries. That's offside. That was Farley Atalio coming offside. Was that Finn?
Yep.
Yep. And all that work down that end, and there's a nice breeze blowing right at the wrong time for Quins. This ball will... Sun's shining, yeah, but it's raining in my heart. But it's a Fleetwood Mac song. The real Fleetwood Mac before they, you know, turn into some sort of parody of themselves. When they were a blues band, back in the 60s. I remember the 60s. So anyway, Luke Bryan's got the ball. Undoubtedly he'll kick this a long way, and does. Must be nearly half time. We nearly lost our coverage just then. The cameraman just ducked in time. Jesus, it's getting dangerous around here. There's footballs flying everywhere.
Not that one over there.
I must say, Kieran Nipper-Hayes is the epitome of a hooker. He just looked, when he was born, his mother must have said, I just had a hooker. And look at him, that's a hooker. So up it goes. Nice tap back by the Bulls. Nice delivery there by Ash Lowry. Bit of fun and games going on the ground over there, but nothing too much to get excited about. Connor Mack takes it up, rolls, places it back. So here we go, bang, nice tackle there by Michael Frost. That was good work, followed up by some more good work. Ooh, a little bit of punching going on there, sir, in case you missed it. Initiated by the Devonport player who didn't like the fact he was tackled exceptionally well. And it's still going on at the moment, so interesting to see where this all leads. Yep, I'm afraid to say that was quite an intentional bit of foul play by the Devonport player, taking exception to the fact he was tackled. And there was definitely a punch in the face there, so I don't think that was a particularly good way of finishing the half. Which is a pity because the game's been played in a good spirit, and that was a bit out of character, wasn't it? Given that it's 26-0, I bloody well need one. Thank you. Finn's just poured me a beer over and opened it for me, which is very generous of her. Knock on there by Oliver Crawford off the kick-off.
Bad luck, Crawford!
Nice bit of pressure there from Aaron Ladlow, so that was good. So let's see how we start the second half. Let's hope it's, just for the sake of the game, let's hope that it gets a little bit tighter than it is at the moment. Right, a bit of shenanigans around getting the ball to the scrum. All good humoured. So let's see how this first scrum goes. We're looking at the other side. We've got Jack Lockley on this side. And he's packing against Risa, and that's an easy scrum win to Devonport. That's a really poor start by the Harlequins scrum. Every scrum, when you set it, you've got to give 100%. Really disappointed with that. Thank goodness I have beer. It's a lovely kick by Luke Bryan, almost to the 22. That's a great kick. Devonport side have come here today, obviously with a lot of intent. In that first half, I think it's fair to say they dominated from about the 10th minute to the 35th. Quins had a little patch at the end there, but allowed themselves to get a bit sucked into a bit of silliness at the end, but no one was hurt, so everybody's fine. It's a nice, oh, that's a knock on. A very poor knock on as well. But that's okay. Penalty to the Bulls. So no harm done. That scrum though was a big warning. That was poor. Yellow card. Oh, the yellow card apparently. Why was that yellow card? So you get a yellow. Oh, okay. Right. Moving right along. Yellow card for offside. Well, that's Ethan Tucker, the 5'8" from Quins, off the field for 10 minutes for offside. There you go. So, misdirected. Oh my goodness. Trying to describe this passage of play isn't easy. You could say it's a litany of errors, would I describe that. Knock on by Devonport, probably knock on by Quins, followed by drop ball by Devonport. Yep. We're having a bit of fun here at the moment. Surrounded by mad people. Right, this is the Quins scrum, right on their line. You would hope that they give it a bit more of an effort than they did the last one.
I got ya.
Bulls scrum is very strong today, but Quins seem to have got possession here. No, it's, I think that's an anyone's ball, that one. That's a penalty to Quins for whatever that is. Holding down? Yep, for holding down. Right, it's a nice kick for touch by Quins. That's a bit better. They need a good line out here and drive it back down the field and put the Bulls on the back feet. It's a bit of a lean here at Rugby Park. This is the scoring end, if you like, because there's a bit of a lean in the ground and you get a bit of the wind behind you, but got a lot of ground to make up. Well, that was a rather prolonged line out throw, but anyway. And Quins probably gone back about 3 yards off that. Once again, the Devonport players were up nice and quick into the face of Dan Newton. He was kicking that ball and he couldn't get any length on it. They're very, very good, the Bulls, at putting pressure on the opposition, turning the screws on them, and you can just see it in the amount of mistakes Quins have made when they've had the ball, on the rare occasions they've had the ball this game. Yep, that's a nice line out and win to Quins, but well, they won it. Looks like it was nice. And coming out the back now. Nice kick by Aaron Adelo.
Doesn't last as well overnight now. It's 5 minutes better. Yeah. Yep. So
if you're into line-outs, this is your moment, because it's the 4th in a row. Right, the breeze is up. It's getting cool here. Be interested to see if Quins make a few positional changes in this half. That's a nice take there by Quins. The line-out's been pretty good today. Scrum not so. So Heffelow takes it up, makes some very, very nice yards. That's a really good run. They loses at the end there. But looks like it's a penalty to Quins. Interesting enough, this is pretty much how the first half started in reverse. Devonport was stuck in there 22 and but had all the possession. Right, just trying to avoid getting hit here. There we go. Good kick. Very nice kick. Made a good 25 yards there, 25 metres. Daniel Newton. Bert Newton's son. Up goes Jeff Altman, lovely, not straight. Must have been marginal, but not straight. Right, so attacking scrum for Devonport. It's noticeable that they tend to hold rather than push too hard on their own feed. They like to have controlled ball at the back of the scrum. And they attack very viciously the Harlequin scrum when it's the Quins feed. Let's see what they do this time. Oh, that's not good. Lou said on this side didn't get his head into position at all. So I'm glad they broke that scrum up. Got to get nice and low in the front row. All the best people play in the front row. That's more like it. It's a nice scrum. Very solid, look at that. Straight backs, that's the way it's meant to be. Ooh, Conor Mack, little shimmy there. Ooh, it's another one of those messy interludes. And the Quins penalty again. Well, they're getting a run of penalties at the moment, but they're all on their own half, so they can't really take advantage of them. But just a commentary about the officials again today. I think they're having a great game. They've kept everything under control. Players got a little excited every now and then, but cool heads prevail when the referee's in control of the game. That's a nice, oh dear, I thought that was straight, but anyway, apparently not. That was straight. But apparently not. I think it moved a bit towards the end of the line-up anyway. Touch judge is in the best position to call those things.
2 minutes.
Right, 2 minutes left before we can go back on the field. Devonport making a couple of subs. So let's see what happens with this one. I think the communication between the officials has been good today. They seem to be very comfortable with each other. They're a team as well, and it's really important that they're relaxed and know what they're doing, feel confident in each other. And it's half time, they all were smiling, so that's a good sign that they're confident they're going well, and they are. So Mark Mio again, pass the ball to Conor Mack, getting a bit sick of saying that. And now we have Mr. Tavaligi again, he's going down the line there, and that's another try. Nice spectacular dive at the end. It was probably 7 or 8 minutes of the Quins having possession of the ball. Turn it over and that's what happens.
One minute and counting.
Looks like Conor Mack's taking this kick and mixing it around a bit. Difficult to pick a standout player from Devonport today, but Tavalagi's just been on fire when he's got it. But there's been some nice space made for him with Mio passing to Conor Mack. They seem to have a really good understanding. So once Conor's got the ball, you know, there's already you can already see what's going to happen next because the break's appearing. If I was going to be rating one of those three as a better
10 seconds, mate.
Best player, I'd say,
10.
Connor Max really used vision today to find the gaps in the Quins' back line to run it through.
Yes.
And Tavalagi has really just fed off it. And, that's really the sign of a very, very good player.
Thank you very much. Awesome.
There's no doubt the Devonport Pigs have had a very, very good day.
Thank you.
But all the tries have gone out wide, so you've got to start looking there for your better players. So far, I'd say he's the man of the match, but a long way to go. Right, Quins have made some subs. You hear about those as we go. Another kick-off by Quins. Doesn't go the 10 metres. These are the fundamentals of the game. Can't get into a pattern of play if you're doing that.
I've been looking at it, yeah. It's a pretty handsome photo, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Well, Ethan Tucker's gone back on the field, so Quins are back to 15. Not sure.
It'll be interesting to see what it's like. I've seen the trailer a couple of times.
Who had a couple of subs. Vandy Canay's gone on. Not sure who he's replaced. Probably Kent Williams. Right, Devonport feed. Got a touchdown standing in front of him, and I still get the gist of it. Nice push by Quins then. There was a lot more pressure in that scrum than the previous ones. Here we go again. Nice little play by Mark Mio. That looked like it might have been forward. It doesn't matter, it's gone out anyway. It's Quins feed into the line out. Just one comment about last night's game of rugby league, to see the mighty Sharks defeat the Broncos. Just had to get that in. Oh, and sucked into all Broncos fans.
Hey, I'm here.
Yep, thank you. Everybody here hates the Broncos, so I think we've done well.
Get that mugger off.
Sorry. Right, Quins go wide to Cameron Ransley. Pass there to... No, that's Kent Williams, so I don't know who's gone off. But anyway, they've mucked it up and knock on by Quins. Who went off for Quins? Oh, Farley's gone off. Well, Farley at Lee has gone off. So we've got a new halfback. Is that him?
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, so Jackson Corona is now playing. Is he playing at halfback?
I haven't seen that.
Must be. Yes, he is. Named after a beer and a virus. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? New player with Quins this year. Matthew Young packs really wide there. Look at that. That's really interesting packing style. He really does try to put as much strength into the second row and the prop as he can to support him. Nice rucking there by Devonport, and they'll take it up again. There you go. Straight up the middle. That's good rugby. And out to the backs. Might have gone one more time, but they've gone wide to the winger. Tyrrell Sharp. Thankfully I got his name right this time. And they've gone wide again, and that's possibly Luke Bryan scored there, but it's a bit hard for me to tell. No, might have been held up. Held up. Doesn't matter who he was. He didn't score, so we can forget it. It's almost like he didn't exist. Right, this will be a Devonport feed, yep. Got up over the line, so it's their feed. It's right. Breeze is sort of turned around and going up the middle of the field now, would you say? Yes. I have agreement to the right of me here, so that's what it's doing. So any breeze advantage. It's funny here at Rugby Park, in the first half you get that breeze. It disappears in the second half all the time, so you've got to pick when you know which way you go. But anyway, any breeze that Quins might have had is gone, but it's not a breeze that's going to save them at the moment. It's going to be a heartfelt commitment from here. And nice strong run there by Sam O'Keefe, who's back on the field. Really, really good run. If I keep praising him, he might buy me a beer next time he's down. Yep, that's turnover to Quins, scrum feed. This is where the Quins need to bend their backs and show them what they're made of. Now, if I was a tactician or person for the Harlequin Club, I would have Michael Dodd out there right now. I think Quins need some spine, and if there's anybody who can do it, it's Doddy, who's probably the strongest bloke in Tasmanian rugby. Played a full game of reserves, I think. He's had 60 minutes, 55 minutes to recover, so he should be right to do another 25. But the scrum needs a boost, and Doddy's your man when you need that. So anyway, Quins feed. Let's see what happens. Nice drive by Devonport, but Quins, yes, lost against the head. And the penalty. So they opt for the scrum by the looks of it, which doesn't surprise me greatly. This commentary is brought to you courtesy of sponsorship from Cascade Lager. Always makes my day happy. We're kindred souls, aren't we? When your side's down 31-0, have a Cascade Lager. That could be a new motto, an ad for them. Yeah. If they're down 62, you'll have over a dozen of them. God, I'm starting to enjoy this far too much. Right, feet at the back of the scrum by Devonport. Nice feed out there to the halfback, and that's a really nicely constructed move. I reckon that's a set move. They took the option of the scrum, and that's what happens. I think that was Ruben Higney who took the ball off the back there. Might be wrong, but halfback Ash Lowry scores a try and well deserved. He's had a good game. There's been a bit of pressure at the back of the line, on him at the back of the scrum and line out at times, and he's handled it well. But he's obviously a new halfback. I think it was Michael Kajolka last year. I think that was the halfback last year. Really good player. Went to school and uni with his father, Mark Kajolka. We drank a lot of beer together in the old days. But this new halfback, Ash Lowry, looks really, really good. Probably weighs about 31 kilos ring and wet, but still does the job. Halfbacks are allowed to be tiny. That's why you need big buggers around them to look after them so they can weave their magic. Absolutely. Right, well, the conversion was unsuccessful, so it's 36-0. It's 4:10. It's getting cold. Okay. And 20 minutes to go, so we'll see what Quins can do from here.
Need a drink? Drink?
Yep. Touch Judge has asked for a beer. No, I offered him a beer, totally different thing, yeah. But he did look very excited, and I respect him very much for that. That's a good sign. Right, so kick off. Devonport rucking the ball at the moment, seem to be in good control. Taking it up there is Ollie Crawford, I think. No, it wasn't. It was Ruben Higney again. It's interesting trying to call the names of people you don't know just by looking at a list quickly and going, I think it was him, because the moment's lost. I could say without any doubt the full whole pack of Devonport bull pigs have done a good job today. Thank you. Second beer has arrived. Thank you, courtesy of Finn. The Cascade sponsorship continues. Funnily enough, I hadn't finished my first one, but that matters not. So, Quinn throwing the ball on the line. Nice take by Jeff Altman. Probably his 7,000th take in Tasmanian rugby. Played over 250 games, Jeff. That's quite extraordinary. Nice big run there by Quinn, straight up the middle. That's something they should have been doing a lot earlier, getting the ball down early and then attacking. I still think another ruck would have been good. But anyway, Daniel McGill throws wide. There goes Candy, one of the quickest men in Tasmanian rugby. And, oh, that may be a reportable offence, and it's a card. Yes, that's a high tackle. That was a very high tackle, quite dangerous. So we'll see what happens from there. There was no malice in it in the sense that he didn't actually deliberately tackle him high, but it was high. Oh, the yellow, or it's yellow. That's fair enough too. Shouldn't be any more than the yellow. He's looking perplexed by it all, but who didn't look perplexed when they got sent into the bin for 10 minutes for what was a blatant high tackle?
Oh. Alana. Fine.
So, Devonport will be down one man for 10 minutes. And luckily from Quinn's point of view, it's the guy who scored 2 or 3 tries. So that might take a bit of pressure off. Let's see what they can do from here. Michael Frost throwing the ball on the line out now. Michael was involved in that little altercation before half time. It was quite amusing. May have taken a little jab to the nose. You'll get over it. Michael's a very tough cookie. Jolly good tackle though. So, Altman takes the ball, goes to ground, and here we go. Straight out to Aaron Adelow. That's not going to go anywhere from there. He's got the ball back nicely though. Quins have got to ruck this out. They've got to ruck it, and there goes Frosty's passes from the back of the ruck there. Quins ruck it again. Just wish they'd ruck it again. Here we go. Colo takes it up. Colo Hafaloa. He goes and makes another 5 metres, and they're rucking again. Now this is what Quinn should have done a lot earlier. Mind, you didn't have a lot of opportunities to do it. Dear oh dear. Sharps had a good game, but that's not one of his best moments. Must have not been knocked on. So there wasn't a knock on? No, apparently not. So oh, that was a nice hit by Daniel Newton then. That goal, remember that? Looked like Canny. Yes, Bandy looks like he's injured. There goes Mark Mio, takes a break. Nice little missed tackle there. They've got to bring this guy around. Legs, boys. Always go for the legs. There's a nice run again by Mark Mio, who's backed up and will score a try. Bit hard to describe how that happened. Quinn's in attack, 15 metres out. One mistake and, excuse my language, it falls into a pile of poop. The encouraging sign was maybe they now realise the importance of the rucking game, because they're actually good at it. They've got the weight to do it, but too often they're in a hurry to go to the backs. And so maybe the lesson learnt for Harlequin rugby today is to be much more patient with the ball. And if you're listening to this later tonight drinking beer, Harlequins, I will say it again, be much more patient with the ball. I think. Please. So it's 41-0. Can be a bit of a bloodbath, but it's been competitive. But it's funny, it's one of those score lines that's all been out wide. And I don't know whether this is exactly what Devonport intended to do today, but my guess is it is. I think they learned the fruits of that approach from the grand final last year. I honestly think in that grand final last year, I spoke to the players after the grand final. I asked them how they approached this game, and they said, a couple of them, most experienced players, said they didn't expect to win, so they thought, what the hell, we're just going to run it, and we're going to run it from the flanks. And obviously it was more than that. It was obviously strategic and planned, but it was a tactic that they hadn't used as much in previous games over a long period of time, but it's certainly something they're good at. So let's see. Let's see what happens over the rest of the year, because the Bulls are renowned for bringing their best to the end of the season. Well, they're doing a bloody good job so far. That's Ollie Crawford makes a big run. The old one-handed flick, which never tends to work. Usually ends in a knock on, and there you have it. I think the Bulls would be best served at the moment going back to structure, getting into the rhythm and groove. It's not a long season. You really want to get on top of your game early. You want to be doing the good things over and over again early, because 8 weeks' time you're probably looking at finals. You right, Vandy? Vandy Canay's gone off injured. He's not looking good. I think it's an ankle. Oh, well, I don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, Queen's scrum gets obliterated, and we're back where we were. That's a feed to Queen's, so the thing about scrummaging is there's never a restful period. Every scrum, no matter what happened to the previous one, the new one, the next one is the most important one. And you've got to get your spines aligned. You've got to be flat back and driving. And Devonport have got a really good push on. Not this time. This is good work by Quins. That's a good scrum. That's a much better effort. Oh, suggestion offside there from Devonport, I would have thought. Almost. That's okay though.
Smash him, Dino, smash him!
Now it's Ethan's a very little ball today. It's nice to see him with it. Massive tackle there. Big tackle. Good work by the Bulls. More drive. Look at that. Straight in. And when you watch them, when you watch the Devonport boys go in, it's straight back. Beautiful stuff. There's a nice run there. Good tackle there by young Kanini. Beautiful run up there by Sam O'Keefe. He owes me 2 stubbies now. I can remind him after this game. So, what will Quins do here? Going to dig that ball out. Is there a big man ready to take it? No, they're going the kick. Not a bad option. Well, let's see what happens. Good tackle there by Ransley. Right around the legs. That's nice to see. Good play on Mike Cameron. That's his father. Doesn't play for a while. Right. Ollie Crawford passes off to Ruben Higney and into touch. Tell you what, I think the beer will be flowing on the bus on the way home in Devonport tonight. They'll be very happy about it. Matthew Young taking control of things out there, telling everybody to shut up. How long to go now? 10 minutes to go. Right, could almost do a summary now. Bad day in the office for the mighty Quins. Let's see what they can do from here. Well, that line out was taken by Phil Panisi. Probably the first ball not taken by Jeff Altman in 17 years. Only joking, but it's good to see Quins put a bit of variety into their line out options. Daniel Newton boots the ball beautifully into touch. It's a good kick. He's had a good game today, Daniel. He's picked this game up and run with it really well. So, Frosty, that's to throw the ball into the line out. Yep. Don't think that was straight, but apparently it was. So there you go. Colo takes it up, passes the beautiful ball to Polopur, and he drops it. Haven't seen much of the outside backs from Quins today. They've been under pressure whenever they've had it. Just a sign of the pressure that these Devonport boys have put on them from the start of the game through to the virtual end. Right, Sam McGowan on the wing here. probably having his first game of first grade for Quins. Played reserves today. Had a good game. Nice kick by Daniel Newton. Drives into the corner. That's a great kick. Right. There's about 9 minutes to go. No. I'm doing commentary here. I'm really important. Yeah. Just talking to Farley, also known as Fail. Right. Well, Ilsani Tabalagi is back on the field, which is interesting. Quins throw the ball on the line out. Not straight. Scrum feed to Devonport. It's that sort of day.
20 seconds. Nearly there.
Right, so Sunny Tabalagi is back on the field. It's the return of the Harlequin Nightmare onto the field. He's had a big game today. So, scrum feed to Devonport. Sun setting in the distance over there. It's a beautiful scene at Rugby Park, it always is. It's always a pleasure to be here. God knows I've been doing it for long enough. So, driving scrum by Devonport to secure it on their line. Very clever tactic. Interesting, they tend to change their scrum depending on the circumstance. That's a beautiful take there. Beautiful kick through, take by Tavalega. He's butting off players. There goes Connor Mack and knocked on by Tyrrell. Tyrrell, I don't care. Tyrrell or Tyrrell, one or the other. It's a Tyrrell. You could have told me 70 minutes ago. Anyway, Tyrell, I apologise when you're watching this tonight or when you're watching it tomorrow, when you're nursing all your injuries and pain and all the wonderful things that go along with the game. Right, number 18 for Quins gone on, which is Mason Colgrave, I think, or was it Jackson? I don't know anymore. These numbers, I don't think the names on these sheets actually align with anybody anymore, but anyway.
Have any more card left? I'm going back in.
Not line out throw to Quins. Called not straight. The reason it was called not straight was because it wasn't. Interesting that this result is what it is, looking a bit introspectively at things. Lions last week were competitive against Devonport. I don't know, it was 11 points I think. It just goes to show that when Quins play Lions, this could be a ripper of a game. Great rivalry there. So that'll be interesting. I can't say Quins have played well today. I'm not sure how much you can gauge from this, from Devonport's perspective. I think the coach will know that. Their coaching crew are very experienced and know what they're doing. And I just think that Quins are off their mark today, and you wouldn't want to read too much into this because they've got to get better. 7 players missing from their grand final side. There's a few things they're getting together at the moment. But I do like the fact that Devonport have kept so many of their grand final team on here for this year. It just goes to show you the spirit of the club. They've got good reserve numbers today. They've come down with about 20 players. I would say that there's a lot that they'll take from this game. Quins will just need to watch this tape and see what happened when they actually rucked it 3 times and made that ground and were able to secure it. There's nothing worse than being on the end of perpetual rucking. Because all you can do is defend, 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 the pressure builds and then you crack. That's how the Devonport boys play, and it's something the Quins lads need to learn from. The result always comes from hard work. You get nothing for free in this game. Anyway, Devonport have made a lot of subs and all the boys are walking around having a nice little rest before they have their post-match beers and sing songs on the way home, and vomit on the highway. Derek's got a spring in his step as he walks past. He's looking a very happy man. Got a spring in your step, Derek?
Can't give you a...
Derek didn't take too kindly to that comment. But he's got a lovely hat on, so I had to mention that. A bit of a legend in Tasmanian rugby. He's the heart and soul of that club up there. There's a lot of good things have happened in Devonport rugby for a long, long time, and he's been there the whole way. So Quins take the ball off the line out. Tucker gives a beautiful boot and makes a nice 30. What? Must have been outside the 22 by the looks of it. Well, there you go. Don't get too excited about anything, Bus. I think that's the answer to that. It's funny, the game's gone through one of those flat patches, as often happens in rugby. There were subs happening everywhere. Connor Mack's going to have a early minute. Yep, clearing the blood. Yeah, he's bleeding. Well, you wouldn't notice, would you? No. Good game, Connor. So he's off the field at the moment. Full complement of Devonport reserves are on the field. Quins win their line out, and what do they get? It's a penalty to Quins. It's very hard to be excited about the commentary now because, well, it was over exciting, but beside that, it's just a dull patch. So that's 10 metres from halfway. Line out, throw to Quins. Not a great result there. But they've got the ball and they've got a chance for a line-out move, which is a bit of a surprise because they, well, no, maybe not. It's been a long time since they've had one. So it's out to Polopua. He's been well controlled and well managed by Devonport today in the limited occasions he's had the ball. So Quins take the ball up. Daniel Newton passes it out to Daniel Garazza. He makes a nice 10-metre run. It goes out to Polopua. He takes it up. Who's with him? Good question. And the answer is Ethan Tucker. Nice clean up by Ethan Tucker. That was beautiful. There goes Aaron Ladlow. Nice run there. We're soldier crabbing a bit though. If anybody wonders what that means, it means you're going sideways. Jeff Altman takes it up. Nice run by one of those weird occasional runs he makes where he just seems to make 20 metres and everybody watches him. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Finn? I've never worked it out. It must be his elusive skills. I saw him score a try last year from about 35 metres out and I just thought everybody went, what the... Anyway, back to the game. Beep, beep, beep. Right, Quinn's driving, the ball's in the air, it's not going to go to ground and it'll be scrum feed to the Bulls. There's one thing I've noticed in this game that's probably something Quins need to learn. This again is the lesson after the game for those who bother to watch it from Quins. 4 times or 5 times they've been caught in the air and lost the scrum feed. Back in the 80s, you actually used to be able to win the scrum feed from being in the air at the time and not grounding the ball, but it's 35 years and we've moved on, so the best thing is to hit the ground. That's a word of advice from me. Fair enough? Thank you, yeah. Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is go to all that effort to make all that ground just to give it back to the bastards. So, yeah. Right. Wow, in the women's rugby, the first Queens won 46-5 in their first game against Burnie and 35-0 against
Burnie, and then they Uni is forfeit.
Okay, so the Queens women had 2 really good wins today, and they've got a very strong squad. They look like dominating that competition. It'd be good to see the other sides get stronger and make it really, really competitive, but at the moment it's very much a Harlequin thing. Oh, there we go. Our friend goes in for his 4th. Right under the posts. Sonny Tavalagi. It's probably taken me 75 minutes to get his name right, but that's okay. But he's shot on us from a great height, so that's another try to him. Tavalagi? Yeah. Looks like it's full time, which is probably a blessing for everybody. And that's the end of the game. Thank you for listening. I hope that the Harlequins watch this tape and learn a lot from it. 48-0 the final score for those interested. Congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to the officials for a great game. And I hope you have a good afternoon. I'm off to have another beer. See you later.